What's up, Snapchat? Well, it's Thursday and we are working on more projects today, so let me show you what I'm doing today. So this is an old piece of wood from the old dresser. This was an IKEA dresser that we had in our bedroom, and we tore it down and replaced it. I'm still working on my son's room. I'm just about done. I'm just trying to add some finishing touches to really make it look good, and making a bookshelf. So you probably can't tell, but what I've done is I've created a cut line here. I'm going to use my jigsaw and just cut it down in order to fit these brackets. So I'll have one bracket here, and I'll put another bracket at the bottom, screw it in, paint it, and we'll have a bookshelf over my son's desk. This is why I absolutely love saving pieces of wood from like old furniture. You never know what you're going to be able to reuse. I've got a 1 o'clock call, which means I need to get this cut out before the call. It starts at 1 and I really want to get this done. So I'll talk to you guys later. Well, I thought I was going to let you go, but I wanted to share something with you guys. So I was going to use my jigsaw. This is a little thick, so I'm actually going to use my circular saw. But let me show you the setup. Whenever I cut things with a circular saw, I usually use 2 sawhorses. And if you've never seen this, this is a really good tip for cutting with a circular saw. If you go to the insulation aisle of Home Depot, they have this pink, like Pink Panther foam. And when you're cutting long pieces of wood, like if you're ripping a piece of wood, this thing is pretty thick. So as long as your blade doesn't go all the way through, you can actually reuse it. You can reuse it over and over again. So if you see, I've got like all of these circular saw marks here, but I've never cut through. So this is where I cut. With this piece of wood from the IKEA dresser, this is kind of perfect because I can just lay it up here, cut it straight across, and make a couple other cuts. And if you're wondering, this is a Craig jig. Oh God, what do you call this thing? I can't even remember what it's called. Rip cut. This is a rip cut. This is so you can do even cuts. The circular saw just sits in there, right? You connect it, and so then if you line this up, you'll get a nice even cut as you're cutting your wood. Circular saw cuts by hand, not pretty, not pretty. So this thing really helps. I wish I could show you guys the actual cutting, but it's just me out here, and I don't think this would work cutting with one hand. And asking my kids to come leave their video games and snap for mommy, not gonna work. That is a lot of dust. But you see, we've got one board now for our shelf. And we're going to cut a couple inches off this side and that side. You know, actually, I don't think that we're going to cut any inches off because I think it's the perfect size for this desk. Yep. So I'm thinking I'm going to paint the shelf gray. And then I'm going to do the desk maybe a different color. I picked up this old chalkboard from the thrift store, gosh, probably years ago, and I'm going to put it in my son's room, and I just sprayed it with some chalkboard paint. I'm going to paint the sides, so I didn't even bother to tape off. I'll just paint over it. So while that's drying, I'm going to look at the shelf. So I decided I was going to do an orange shelf. I'm really not sure if I want to do orange. The other option was to do an Annie Sloan chalk paint Paris gray, which I love, and I think it looks good, but I want some pops of color in my son's room. Well, I guess it's a good thing that I just changed out of my good pants. Somebody made a mess. It's a late night Target run. I need just a few more things to finish my son's room, and tomorrow I can take final pictures and post. I look a hot mess. Still have my work glasses on, and I'm wearing some like crazy pants.